it's going to have traffic. That make good time. He's got a spot in the lot and everything. It's filling up. I'm going to be able to get there.
Visit the finance guy and loans and get through this time. Try to find a set.
Ready?
On. A new decade is upon us in Middlesex County and perhaps a new era of GMC boys basketball. And the season begins tonight with the traditional opening night matchup featuring the defending conference champion, the St. Joseph Falcons, taking on the East Brunswick Bears. It's great to have you with us for the fourth season of GMC Hoops Game of the Week action. My name is James Carrigan. The St. Joseph Falcons come in having won the last 4 GMC tournament championships and 9 of the last 10. But you would probably not know it by looking at their bench. A brand new face as the head coach of the Falcons in Jan Coziello, coaching his first game in from Westfield High School after the departure of Mike Thompson, who won 2 GMC championships in his 2 seasons at the helm of the Falcons. The Falcons return perhaps the best backcourt in Middlesex County, the MVP of the 2019 GMC tournament, Tyree Ford, the 6'2" senior, averaging a little over 11 points per game, which was down from his sophomore season at 14 points per game in 2018. That year saw Kayshawn Schulters win the MVP of that season's GMC tournament. He comes in as the 6'1" senior, and he is going to Villanova for football. Those two are the catalysts for the number 2 ranked St. Joseph Falcons, taking on an East Brunswick side with more than a few new faces of their own. Only 4 returning letter winners for 7th-year head coach Mark Mataseski. Devin Kennedy standing, or at least listed at 6'7", looks to be the catalyst for them on the inside. He'll have to contend with some of the big bodies of St. Joe's, in particular Andrew Olden, a very talented senior in his own right, who will wear number 35 in white, coming in at 6'4". Also Maurice Johnson, we expect to come off the bench as well for the Falcons, who come in at number 2 this season. Not where they're used to being, thanks to the St. Thomas Aquinas Trojans, the preseason number 1 team in the county. And there is no better atmosphere anywhere, perhaps only in the City of Light Classic in Edison, than in this fixture opening night, as has been the case now for each of the last 3 years. There was a 2-year hiatus in between where this game was not played on opening night, but in the previous years, so many memories, so many great players and great moments coming from this rivalry. 15 straight games won by St. Joseph against their adversaries, the East Brunswick Bears. The last time that the Bears knocked off the Falcons was right here in East Brunswick back in 2013, when the Bears, led by Amir Bell and Rob Ukawuba, took out Carl Anthony Towns, Wade Baldwin, and Cole. So the national anthem will commence, and there is going to be no better national anthem than this, with the student sections sure to join in. Here it is. No shortage of electricity here tonight on opening night from East Brunswick. So now for the starting lineups for both teams. First for the visitors, the St. Joseph Falcons, the defending GMC tournament champions. Tyree Ford coming in at as the 6'2" senior. In all likelihood will go Division I in football. Amari Campbell wearing number 3 in black. Adam Slowinski, one of the returning players for the Falcons. The aforementioned Andrew Olden, the talented big man. There is Kayshawn Schulters coming off the bench. As quick as they come in Middlesex County, going to Villanova for football as a defensive back. And there is the defending MVP of the GMC tournament, Tyree Ford, who is now a 3-year starter.
Now let's put your hands together for your East Brunswick Bears.
Mark Mataseski in his 7th season at the helm of the East Brunswick Bears. Their starting lineup, the sophomore Justin Black will lead us away. This is a rather young side for East Brunswick. Jackson Bayuk
Number 10, Ricky
wearing number 25. Ricky Gomez, number 10.
Number 3, Jalen Pichardo.
And there is a freshman in Jalen Pichardo,
21.
starting in his first career high school game in this game. I imagine what's going through his mind, and Devin Kennedy, the big man in the middle for the Bears. East Brunswick has fallen on a bit of hard times lately, at least by their standards. Last season, just 9-15 overall, 4-10 in the red division. Their worst showing in some time, only earned the 14 seed in the GMC tournament. In fact, each of the last 3 years, East Brunswick has earned a seed in the teens in the GMC tournament. 12th seed in 2017, 13th in 2018, and 14th in 2019. Mark Mataseski looking to build off of a JV championship team for his East Brunswick high school side last year. And looking to end a long 15-game losing streak against their rivals, the St. Joseph Falcons. They met 3 times last season, including in the first round of the GMC tournament. St. Joseph came in as the 3 seed, their lowest seed since 2008, but still managed to win the championship over Piscataway in the final game, and in a memorable semifinal clash against the Colonia Patriots. Number 1 ranked St. Thomas Aquinas made a statement last night against South River. These Falcons, no doubt, have been paying close attention to their Plainfield Road rivals. They look to make a similar statement here tonight. It's going to be Andrew Olden. It's going to be Andrew Olden to jump it up with Devin Kennedy. And this building is electric. And we are underway in the 2020 Middlesex County basketball season. The tip one back by Olden to the speedster Kayshawn Schulters. No time to waste for Schulters, but he lost the handle of the ball. Kennedy down on the ground to pick it up. Jackson Bayuk going the other way with it. Bayuk 3.2 points per game last season in just 17 appearances. In the corner, now straight on, is Justin Black, just a sophomore. Black, beautiful crossover, but he is denied by Amari Campbell. Tyree Ford the other way. Stood up in the corner. The Falcons can reset. Schulters. Back out to Campbell. Campbell, his first career high school start. Andrew Olden hit hard by Kennedy and gets it to go off the glass. Andrew Olden starts the scoring off for the Falcons in the 2019-2020 season. Olden did not get as much playing time last season as one would think when watching him play. Only 11 games and 24 total points. But he has quite a bit of talent. I, for one, expected him to play a little bit more last season as he completes the three-point play. Nobody would have complained if he had. 3-0 in the early going in favor of the Falcons just a minute in to the first quarter. On the wing, it's Jackson Bayuk, hounded by Tyree Ford. Ford, such a stingy defender and so athletic as well, especially for a man of his strength. Ford tips the pass. It falls to Olden. Campbell the other way. Campbell lost the ball. Taken by Ricardo Gomez. Gomez has to back out. Campbell standing him up on the perimeter. Just the 3 points from Andrew Olden so far in this one. The pick and pop. It's Ricardo. He can't get it to go. He gets his own rebound, but he turns it over. Campbell the other way. Campbell looked like he was hit hard, and the whistle eventually does go. The foul will go against Justin Black. So that'll be the second team foul on East Brunswick. The Falcon flock to our right, reminding the Bears of what they can and cannot do, as is their mantra. So Amari Campbell at the line did not appear on varsity last season for the Falcons, and he cannot connect on the first. Just a sophomore is he. And talk about being thrown into the fire in your first career high school start in this game, in this atmosphere here at the Bears Den, with the Bear mascot, in fact, 2 Bear mascots out in full force. And Campbell has his first career varsity point. So 2 minutes gone by in this first quarter. The Bears still looking to get on the board this season. Black, the sophomore, guarded by Slowinski. Slowinski, returning varsity player for St. Joseph, one of the few. Off the curl, the pass stolen away. It's Schulters the other way. Schulters, full head of steam. He lost the handle of the ball, but he is fouled. So Kayshawn Schulters will look to start his scoring account from the free throw line. Foul will go against Black. And if that's the case, then that will be his second. And indeed, it is the second foul on the point guard for the Bears, Justin Black, number 0. So Mark Monteseschi will have to go to his bench early. Kayshawn Schulters can't connect. Few have an on switch like this man, Kayshawn Schulters, the MVP of the 2018 GMC tournament. Who can forget in the semifinals of that tournament his 30-point performance against the Carteret Ramblers and the buzzer beater he hit to win the championship against Colonia at the rack. But Kayshawn Schulters misses a pair. Outlet pass. Gomez thought about the 3 but thought better of it. Try and take the baseline. Got Campbell up in the air. But back out it goes to Jackson Bayuk. Gomez again on the ring, looking for Kennedy this time, but can't find him. Nice defense by Olden. Gomez a third time, he'll try it. The ball fake, 2 ball fakes. Bayuk, he's open for 3. Olden, a strong rebound, but a jump ball is going to be called. It looked like from here, it certainly looked like Andrew Olden had complete possession of the ball. The possession arrow will favor East Brunswick. Olden going up against the bigger man, the 6'6", Devin Kennedy. Straight on the substitute in for East Brunswick. Bayuk is denied from the perimeter. Schulters will take it in this time. Good defense by Bayuk. He commits the foul. Good job by Jackson Bayuk to recover. Kayshawn Schulters will go to the line for 2 more free throws. Jordan Williams, number 4 for East Brunswick, in the game, replacing Justin Black, who's out with the 2 fouls, as Schulters will go to the line for another pair, as we are now 3 minutes into this game, 5:01 remaining in the first quarter. And Schulters begins his scoring account on the season. East Brunswick prepared well for this game, scrimmaging Seton Hall Prep earlier in the week. As Schulters makes up for his 2 prior misses, he hits a pair. Can the Bears get something going on offense? Gomez on the wing. Screen for Pichardo from the free throw line, and Gomez starts the scoring off for the Bears. Ricardo Gomez, 3.7 points per game. Olden lays it in, but it's an offensive foul. And these Bear fans are fired up. Campbell commits the foul, his first. First foul on the Falcons as well, with 4.5 to go in quarter number 1. Gomez again on the perimeter. Ignores the screen. Bayuk. Kennedy, his first touch in the post. Going in on Olden. Fading away, not the best of shots. Fight down low, and the foul will go against East Brunswick. The Bears already in some foul trouble. I believe that is their 5th personal foul already. It'll be the first on Ricardo Gomez. And indeed, the 5th personal foul on East Brunswick. Just 4:16 remaining in the first quarter. So that could very well play a factor going forward in this game. The ball screen for Schulters. Kennedy with the hedge. Into the corner. Campbell takes the baseline, and a bump on the drive. Another foul will go against East Brunswick. That's the 6th personal foul already on the Bears. So St. Joseph already in the bonus. The first foul on the substitute Jordan Williams. The dump into the post for Olden. Back out Slowinski. Olden lost the hand of the ball. Taken away by the Bears. Good hustle by EB. We haven't seen Tyree Ford get involved in the offense as of yet. Bayuk has an open J and hits. Jackson Bayuk, his first 2 of the season. The Bears within 2. Now with 3:30 to go in the first. Campbell splits defenders. He can't find the rim. The Bears trying to push the pace with Bayuk. Williams lost the ball. Looked like it was off on St. Joseph last, and indeed it is. been some tight contests in recent years, especially in the season opener between these two sides. As we get our first substitution of the game for St. Joseph. For East Brunswick, rather, another substitution as Brendan Devlin is in this game, number 23. Williams. First touch for Brendan Devlin. It's Bayuk. Methodical on offense are these Bears. Bayuk is denied for three by Tyree Ford. Significant height advantage and size advantage on Tyree Ford, who's a strong linebacker in football for St. Joseph, and looks like it. He has grown significantly in size and in muscle since he first made his varsity debut in his sophomore year.
All good, no worries.
Ford defending Bayuk. Gomez, who has two of the four. Gomez stripped. Fight on the ground. It falls again to Gomez. East Brunswick has to be careful. This St. Joseph team's so dangerous if you turn the ball over. We've seen it already a couple times today. They love to run. They love to get out in transition, as has been their MO. Devlin down low. Looks like it'll be a foul on the floor going against Andrew Olden. Just the second team foul on St. Joe's. So Olden picks up his first. Bayuk, this is a slow inbounds pass, has to be careful here. Williams slicing in the floater. And it's going to be a blocking foul going against St. Joe's. Two shots coming for Jordan Williams, the junior. So Olden just picked up his second foul in succession. Presumably, Janka Conziello will have to go to his bench as Williams can't connect from the free throw line. So here comes number 5, the big man Maurice Johnson in for St. Joseph, also standing at 6'4". And in for East Brunswick, number 20, Nathaniel Levitt. Williams hits one of two. So just a 1-point game here. St. Joseph, undoubtedly the favorite coming in, the number 2 ranked team in the county in the official GMC Hoops rankings. East Brunswick has made this a game in the past. Last season in the opener, just a 62-54 victory, and that's going to be 1-1 for Amari Campbell as he was fouled by Williams. So with just 2:04 remaining in the first quarter, Williams picks up his second foul, and St. Joe's is in the bonus, 1-1. And another significant development, both point guards for East Brunswick now with 2 fouls. Williams has just picked up his second. He replaced the sophomore Justin Black, who picked up 2 fouls in the early going, as Campbell misses the front end. Long outlet pass. Williams will remain in for now with the 2 fouls. It's going to be a tough ask in the post for Brendan Devlin. Williams off the ball screen, looking for the screen and roll, no room. Bayuk. He comes off a ball screen of his own. Devlin is denied, gets it back. He's blocked by Slowinski on the perimeter. In the corner, not the best of passes, saved by Gomez, but only to Tyree Ford. Can he get on the board? Campbell will slow things down. Schulters will try from 3. Tayshawn Schulters, only 15 made threes all of last season. Not the strongest aspect of his game. Heavy pressure on Williams by Ford, almost a reach-in foul. Williams from 15. And it'll go the way of the St. Joseph Falcons. So now Williams will exit with his 2 fouls. In for Joe's number 0, Ethan Simmons. In for the first time. The junior Ethan Simmons Did not factor on varsity last season. In for EB number 5, Zach Zebro. From the corner for 3, Adam Slowinski on the board. Adam Slowinski, 16 games played last year, 35 total points, but poured in 11 points in the state tournament game against St. John Vianney, which was a victory for the Falcons. Tyree Ford will take it the other way with 30 seconds left in the first quarter, but he loses the handle of the ball. Tyree Ford has not been able to get into rhythm. The touchdown pass sails well over the head of Nathaniel Levitt. So 23.0 remaining in the first quarter. St. Joseph with a 9-5 lead on East Brunswick. Both sides still working out the kinks. Dylan McCann, number 1 for East Brunswick, checks in. He's a senior. Part of the East Brunswick JV championship team last year. Ethan Simmons will slow the pace. 11 seconds left. Schulters, 7 seconds, 6. Schulters, no doubt will take it himself. The crossover. Still it's Schulters. He's got to put it up at the buzzer. Schulters. No foul given, so that'll do it for the first quarter. Nip and tuck first quarter it was. The East Brunswick Bears hanging in with the second-ranked St. Joseph Falcons, 9-5 right here on the GMC Hoops Game of the Week. And if you haven't heard of it yet, well, you're about to. This game brought to you by Lots of Balls, the gourmet meatball destination that you never thought you needed, located on 26 New Street in Metuchen. Lots of Balls, lauded by critics and patrons alike for its old-fashioned family atmosphere. And, of course, the best meatballs that you will find anywhere. 26 New Street in Metuchen, Lots of Balls. It's great to have you with us right here on YouTube. James Corrigan in the 4th year of the GMC Hoops Game of the Week. We thank you so much if you've joined us at any point in all 4 of those seasons. Andrew Olin with 4 for St. Joe's. Kingshawn Schulters with 2. Adam Slowinski with the 3-point make. And Amari Campbell adding a point as well. That makes up the 9 for the Falcons. And for the East Brunswick Bears, Ricky Gomez with 2. Jackson Bayuk with 2. And Jordan Williams with the free throw make, making up their 5. The 3 meetings between these two sides last year, the first one at the Maglio Gymnasium at St. Joe's, as we get an illegal screen going against the Falcons, as the foul will be picked up by Maurice Johnson, the 6'4" big man, a junior. 62-54 in the opening game of the season last year at the Maglio Gymnasium. Then 2 lopsided affairs, 78-53 right here at East Brunswick. And then 60-39 in the GMC tournament. 15 consecutive victories Joe's has had over EB. From the short corner, coming up short, Zach Zebro. Taken the other way by Ford. Ford, full head of steam, barrels into a man, lost the ball. Falcons get it back. Slowinski can't finish. Slowinski gets it back. He still can't finish. Finally, Slowinski is fouled on the 3rd attempt, and he'll go to the line for 2. Adam Slowinski, who has 3 points already today. Couple key pieces for St. Joe's graduating from last year's championship team. Couple of them here today. Luke Fresco and Howard McBurney. As Slowinski misses the first. The foul on Nathaniel Levitt, his first, the team's 8th. East Brunswick still in foul trouble, significant foul trouble, 38 seconds into this second quarter. And he misses both, but the offensive board grabbed by Johnson. Schulters trying to put the move, spins in the lane, he can't finish. A whistle underneath will go against Joe's. So Ford will exit. One factor for St. Joe's, as Tyree Ford is replaced by the lanky Miles White. Miles White wearing number 13. Standing at 6'6", at least listed at 6'6". And an offensive foul will go the other way on East Brunswick. So Levitt will appear to pick up his second, and he has. One factor for St. Joe's with Ford and Kayshawn Schulters coming off of another successful football season for St. Joe's is, can they find their legs and can they transition from football shape to basketball shape? Slowinski almost turned it over, but Miles White recovered. Straight on the three from Simmons won't go, but White corrals the board. No scoring yet as White steps on the sideline, and it'll go back the other way. That was an issue last year with St. Joe's as they got off to a slow start, losing games in the early part of the season to teams that they should not have been losing to, the likes of Piscataway, who they would go on to beat in the GMC Championship game, losing to J.P. Stevens for the first time in 11 years, losing to South Brunswick for the first time in even longer. But they got hot late in the season as the first touch of the ball for Logan Witkowski, number 33, in white. A screen from Witkowski. And the jumper is true. Lucas Blaziniuk is on the board for East Brunswick 2 minutes into this second quarter. But the answer is true for Ethan Simmons. So 11-7, just 2 minutes into this second quarter. Witkowski. Dylan McCann, the J. Big moment for the senior Dylan McCann. Puts the lead to 2. Schulters down low, finds White, and 1. Miles Y. Listed at 6'6", standing all of it. That's the 10th team foul, the first on Lucas Blizniuk. So one shot going for Miles Y. Miles Y did not factor on the varsity team for St. Joseph last season. A lot of new faces for both sides. He can't complete the three-point play. 5.5 left in the first half. Kennedy's back in the game for East Brunswick, trying to take advantage of the new man, Miles Y. Y has the height advantage, perhaps, but Kennedy has the size and strength advantage. On the perimeter, Pichardo is back in for East Brunswick, number 3. He's posting up on Schulters, a lanky man of his own. McCann trying to get around Simmons. Gomez back in as well for the Bears. Gomez splits defenders, blocked by Maurice Johnson. Would maybe like to see Gomez pull up for a free throw line jumper there. Maurice Johnson, 6'5", junior, 4.2 points per game last year. Scored his career high in the second meeting between these teams. 13 points right here at the Bear Den. Risky pass, corralled by the freshman. Laying it up and in the finger roll. Jalen Pichardo. Why the answer? In transition, St. Joe's running the floor tremendously well, as we are so used to seeing over the years, regardless of who wears the uniform. Another ball screen for Gomez. Kennedy will try and take himself from all the way out beyond the perimeter. The bump on the drive will go against Miles Y. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left in the first half. East Brunswick has a game coming up against Woodbridge on Monday, and then a significant test for them in the Brunswick Classic over the holiday break. From the perimeter, that won't go. Fight down low, still loose down low. And it'll go out of bounds off of St. Joe's as Pichardo grabbed the offensive rebound.
For St. Joe's down there. He scored it in that transition.
Nice feed down low Good block-to-block passing. Pichardo lays it in. He's got 4 points in succession. The lead down to 2. The drive. Johnson is blocked. Pichardo with the ball. Could this be his coming out party? Kennedy, beautiful move. He can't finish. Pichardo the board. He's stripped. Stolen away. Amari Campbell the other way. Schulters thought about the 3. Simmons from downtown. Still loose. Simmons corrals on the perimeter. Schulters, his second 3-point attempt. East Brunswick starting to believe. Not since the 2013 season have they defeated the St. Joseph Falcons. They've come a bit close before. Gomez will try and take the baseline. Got Schulters up in the air, but could not finish in the end. Schulters, full head of seam. So quick, but out of control. And floats it up to no one. Looking for the foul. He won't get it. McCann. Gomez. Through the legs he goes, but Y stayed true. 2:43 left. A lob to Kennedy. Kennedy all the way in, and he's fouled by Schulters. So Devin Kennedy with an opportunity perhaps to tie this game at 15 all if he can sink a pair. Schulters picks up his second foul. So there you see the big man for the East Brunswick Bears. Devin Kennedy averaged a little over 5 a game last season. His season high came against South Brunswick with 14, as well as against Perth Amboy with 14 and 13 in his 2 meetings against the Panthers. But only 4, 2, and 3 points in the 3 games, respectively, against Joe's last season. Second for Kennedy. He cannot tie it up with 2:35 remaining in the first half. Campbell crosses over. Jackson Bayek is back in for East Brunswick. Y will try the 3 and hit the 3. Well, a new face, Miles Y, is certainly making an impression for St. Joe's. To answer, it's Gomez. Ricardo Gomez cuts it back to 1. 2:05 left first half. Miles Y has 7 now for St. Joe's. Y thought about trying again, instead will take it in. Johnson. Simmons off the screen. Simmons screen and roll. Beautiful play to Johnson. Maurice Johnson as easy as you like. Gomez thought about another 3, now steps back and tries it. Comes up short, Kennedy tracks it down. Gomez will take it himself. Stripped going up, taken by Amari Campbell. Campbell, who's been impressive, may have taken 3 steps. But the foul will go first against East Brunswick. The double bonus is in play. So Amari Campbell will go to the line for 2. So that'll be foul number 2 against Devin Kennedy. He's a player you'd think that East Brunswick cannot afford to have on the bench. Campbell, who has 1 point so far, but has handled the ball well, had led the transition break on several occasions, misses another free throw. He's now 1 of 4 from the line today. One minute, 20 seconds left in the first half. Second free throw, true. 1 of 2 for Campbell. He now has 2 points. This has become what you'd expect on opening night. Both teams coming out a bit tight, maybe a bit of preseason jitters. Pichardo tied up inside. Gomez will pull up for the J. The jump ball down low. It will favor East Brunswick. Coming up at the half, we will recap some of the scores from today and yesterday in the GMC, some of the early games today, including a game between Old Bridge and South Brunswick, two teams looking to factor into the Red Division standings. Kennedy in the post, he's fouled by Y. The 8th team foul will bring Kennedy to the line for 1-1. It's the big man Kennedy looking to add to his 1 point so far today. And Kennedy misses the front end. Simmons, nice outlet to the corner. Ford looking to score for the first time this season. He saves his own miss. Simmons putting the moves on Bayek. Beautiful move by Simmons, but he can't finish. And the foul will, no indication yet on who it's on. It looks like it's going the other way on St. Joseph. So it'll go against Amari Campbell, his second, with 37.1 seconds remaining in the first half. And a new man in for the first time today, DeMarcus Shepard checks in for the St. Joseph Falcons. Shepard, a senior guard at 6'0", wearing number 23, as it'll be Kennedy going to the line. It was the 19th foul on Joes, so another 1-1 for the big man, and he misses the front end again. The misses could prove to be costly. And we have a very late call here. The referee on the near side, I believe, has called a very late lane violation on St. Joe's. And there you see the head coach, Jack Cazziello, and he is beside himself in his head coaching debut for the Falcons. He was an assistant last year at Joe's, originally came from Westfield High School. Replaced Mike Thompson, who in his 2 seasons won 2 county championships. The Falcons, 9 of the last 10 titles. East Brunswick has played 13 different players in this game. That is amazing. Rarely do you see, even at times, 13 players on the roster in high school, as Kennedy makes up for his miss. That was the front end of what is now a new 1-1, coming off of the lane violation on Joe's. That makes it a 3-point game. Kennedy hits a pair, and the lead is down to 2. Still 37 seconds left in the first half. The tension, even already in the first half, is beginning to mount here at the Bear Den. St. Joe's always coming in with expectations, ranked number 2 in the preseason. Behind the mighty St. Thomas Aquinas, dribbling exhibition from Simmons, and he travels. 19.9 seconds left in the first half. And the Bears presumably will hold for one. Jackson Bayuk will walk it up the floor. 12 seconds, 11, 10 now for Bayuk. Guarded closely by Simmons. He's gonna have to make something happen. He's fouled by Ford. That's 2 shots. The 10th team foul on Joe's. 6.9 left. Jackson Bayuk 2 points so far in the first half. Factored in on Varsity last season, 17 games, 3.2 points per game. Tyree Ford picks up his first foul as Bayuk hits the first. The big story of this one is going to be Tyree Ford. No points in the first half. He has not really looked to attack. That's something that Falcon fans will hope changes in half number 2. As this game is tied up at 21. My goodness. 5 seconds left. Simmons pushes it up the floor. Simmons travels, 1.7 left. So perhaps the Bears can get off a desperation heave. They have to go full court. And they will roll this ball. Bayek, St. Joe's letting him get it off. Bayek may have touched that one early. It didn't appear that the clock began when he, well, in any case, all tied up at the half, 21-21, East Brunswick. A tremendous effort by the Bears. Their backs against the wall. Everybody seemingly counting them out of this one. St. Joseph coming in winners of 9 of the last 10 GMC titles, the number 2 ranked team in the county in the preseason. But the Bears have gone toe to toe, and it's been a fairly balanced scoring effort as well for East Brunswick. Some of the stats, Jalen Pichardo, just a freshman playing in his first high school game with 4 points. Ricardo Gomez with 5. 3 points all on free throws for Devin Kennedy. Jordan Williams picks up 1 point. Dylan McCann, with 2. So those are the leading scorers for East Brunswick. And as for St. Joe's, leading the way for them, 7 points coming from Miles Y, coming off the bench to score 7. A couple players with some foul trouble, including Andrew Olden with 3 points. 2 for Ethan Simmons, 2 for Maurice Johnson off of a beautiful pick and roll play. Amari Campbell with 2, Kayshawn Schulters with 2, both coming off of free throws. 3 points for Adam Slowinski, and significantly none for Tyree Ford, the reigning MVP of the GMC tournament last year. Has been held scoreless in the first half. So a couple of the scores around Middlesex County, and a big result over at Old Bridge. South Brunswick making a statement. The number 4 ranked team in the preseason taking down number 5 Old Bridge 69-52. So that is a result that will surely pay dividends throughout the rest of the season in the Red Division. South Brunswick looking like perhaps the top challenger for St. Joe's in the division. Several results coming in last night in what was technically the opening night of the high school basketball season. And 3 ranked teams in action for the first time, including the consensus preseason number 1 team in Middlesex County, the St. Thomas Aquinas Trojans. That is without a doubt the biggest story in the offseason this year, is the rise of the Trojans, sharing the same street as St. Joe's on Plainfield Road in Edison. But this year under Bob Turco in his second season, they are absolutely loaded. The number 12 ranked team in New Jersey by NJ.com, and they took care of business and then some last night against South River, a team that lost lost every letter winner from last year. Aquinas with an 81-26 victory, up 25-0 after 1 quarter and up 43-5 at the half. Quadri Adams, the preseason player of the year in Middlesex County with 26 points, adding 8 steals. Derek Grant with 19 points and 12 rebounds. Keyshawn Henry, the transfer from Woodbridge, with 11 points. Jaquan Harris, the star sophomore, with major conference offers already with 10. Aquinas stole the ball 25 times as a team last night against the South River Rams. That is amazing, and things won't get much better in the Blue Division. St. Thomas Aquinas looks to romp through those 12 games. The number 3 ranked team in the county also was in action last night. New Brunswick took care of business against John F. Kennedy 69-47, as we see the performance from the very adept East Brunswick dance team. 69-47, New Brunswick on top of Kennedy last night. Perhaps the best duo in Middlesex County, Ian Brown-Miller and Tajay Moore doing what they do best. Ian Brown-Miller, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, and 5 steals. And Tajay Moore, not to be outdone, 18 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 blocks. Those two so imposing to go up against. Brown-Miller just 5'10", but perhaps the most skilled player we have in Middlesex County. And Moore coming in at 6'8", as physically imposing down low as it gets. The number 8 team in Middlesex County was in action as well last night. Carteret took care of business as well against Metuchen, beating the Bulldogs 59-40. Starrell Hearns with 18 points, 10 rebounds. He is a very impressive-looking junior for a Rambler team that was hit hard by graduation. No more Jaleel Nix, second-team All-County performer last year. But Coach Muggsy White always seems to have his team playing at a high level. The North Brunswick Raiders making a bit of a statement of their own last night, defeating Woodbridge 59-48. And a couple players stepping up for them, looking very impressive. Donovan Crawford, the big man for the Raiders, with 19 points. You may recall his brother Deontay Crawford, at one point a star for Bishop Bar. And Jabri Fitzpatrick with 16 points. He, in particular, looked very impressive last night. I had a chance to go over to North Brunswick and catch some of that game. Jabri Fitzpatrick looks like he has made a big leap forward for the North Brunswick Raiders. Could be a team to watch in the GMC White Division. They play these East Brunswick Bears very soon over the holiday break at the Brunswick Classic. Also a matchup between East Brunswick and New Brunswick will be on tap. And a matchup in the Gold Division yesterday, Wardlaw Hartridge beating Timothy Christian 70-55. The new look Wardlaw Hartridge Rams. Yes, those Wardlaw Hartridge Rams. A trio of transfers that could potentially turn the Gold Division on its head. No more significant than Savon Presley, transfer from Bishop Bar, 29 points. Mackay Huey, who was at the Patrick School last year, pouring in 16. First-year head coach Brendan Wagner looking to make some waves perhaps in the Edison School. Wardlaw Hartridge, long the doormat of Middlesex County, looks to contend with Denellen perhaps for the GMC Gold Division crown this year in 2020. So at the half, all tied at 21. James Cargan here on the GMC Hoops Game of the Week, courtesy of RD Plex Films. And another opportunity to thank a couple of our sponsors, not the least of which, Lots of Balls, the gourmet meatball restaurant that you never thought you needed, located at 26 New Street in Metuchen. Both critics and patrons alike have raved about the family atmosphere and, of course, the ever-delicious meatballs that you can only find at Lots of Balls. So get your balls today. Lots of Balls on 26 New Street in Metuchen. And also a special thanks to the Express Athletic Center for its continued support, which will increase as the year goes on. The Express Athletic Center located in Edison, a bastion for youth and travel basketball players, aspiring players of all ages, the Express Athletic Center. There's a team there for just about everyone and on every level. So find them online today. Thank you to St. Joseph assistant coach Joe Norton, who was a big help over at the Express Athletic Center. But if you are just tuning in to this stream and seeing this score, it is not a typo. East Brunswick and St. Joe's tied at the half at 21. East Brunswick looking to snap a 15-game losing streak. That losing streak started, 15-game losing streak against Joe's. That losing streak started in the most memorable county championship game in history back in 2013 when St. Joe's with Karl Anthony Towns defeated East Brunswick in double overtime. The Bears, led by Rambuka Wuba and Amir Bell, both teams ranked the top 5 in New Jersey at the time. East Brunswick that year went on to win the sectional championship in Central Jersey Group 4, but would lose in the Group 4 semis against Atlantic City. The Joes went on to make it to the TOC championship game that year and lost to Tyler Roberson and Roselle Catholic before winning it all the following year. Perhaps the most memorable game that these teams have played came in the following year, the first game of the 2013-14 season. Joe's came in the preseason #1 team in New Jersey. East Brunswick unranked. Nobody gave the Bears a chance, but it took a layup by Raven Owen at the buzzer for St. Joe's to knock off the Bears by 2 points. East Brunswick was up in that game by 5 points with about a minute left. A big three from Karl Anthony Towns helped set the tone and lead the comeback. That was, in fact, the first career game that Mark Mataseski ever coached as the head coach at East Brunswick. That was his first season replacing the legend Bo Henning. Coach Mataseski would lead East Brunswick to the GMC championship game that year, falling to Joe's by 14 points. And Joe's, of course, 2014, the famous year they would go on to win the Tournament of Champions. So just about set to commence with the second half. Both teams in some foul trouble coming off of the first half. Kayshawn Schulters with 2 for Joe's, along with Amari Campbell and Andrew Olden, and Miles Y, who was a big factor. In fact, is the leading scorer so far for Joe's with 7 points and 2 fouls for 4 different players for EB. Justin Black, the sophomore guard who started this game, picked up 2 fouls. Along with the big man Devin Kennedy, Jordan Williams, the junior guard who came off the bench, as well as Nathaniel Levitt. They all have 2 fouls for the Bears. So both fan bases rising back to their feet. As we are underway in the second half, St. Joe's will start things off. Kyrie Ford still yet to score for Joe's. He has the ball now. The MVP of the GMC tournament last season can't finish with the left hand, and taken by Justin Black, the sophomore, going the other way. And Black will walk with the ball, dragging that pivot foot. East Brunswick cannot afford to commit those kinds of unforced turnovers against such a dangerous team like Joe's. Mentioned before, this St. Joseph team started off slow last year. A 3 in the corner, Slowinski can't hit. This Joe's team started off slow last year, losing 4 division games in rather quick succession, but found their way back to win the GMC tournament in memorable fashion over Piscataway last season. Bayuk will pull up from the free throw line. He's blocked by Slowinski. The Bears recover from the corner. The 3 is off the back iron and over the basket. Justin Black unable to connect. So just 55 seconds into this second half. Campbell hands it for Schulters. Just 2 in the first half for Schulters. Slowinski trying to create on his own. Pichardo, the freshman, guarding Slowinski nicely. Schulters with Bayuk in front of him. Will pull up for the 3. Good boxing out done by Gomez down low. Kennedy with the board. Outlet for Bayuk. Minute and a half gone by in the second half. Black will slow things down. Gomez, the Division I football recruit, forward in his face. Kennedy, the turnaround. East Brunswick, its first lead of the game. Can Amari Campbell answer? Yes, he can. The 3 for number 3. Campbell now with 5 on the day. And Campbell the steal in the backcourt. And just after East Brunswick takes its first lead of this game, a quick 5-0 run as St. Joe's now putting the pressure on. A 1-2-2 press broken by Gomez. Gomez spins in a lane. Dish for Kennedy. Kennedy finds the bottom of the rim, gets it back. He is denied by Schulters. Schulters will push the pace. Schulters loses the ball, almost loses his footing, and hits our camera here on the near side. And the last touch will be ruled to have gone off of St. Joe's, so it's East Brunswick ball. As our great cameraman, Ryan DePaul, the head of RDPlex Films, looks on, unperturbed by the likes of Kayshawn Schulters. Gomez is trapped. Gomez in trouble. Jump ball is called. And is that a technical foul, perhaps? The referee, a big call here. We do have a technical foul. And I believe it has gone against Kayshawn Schulters. Schulters picks up his 3rd personal foul. So wipe out that jump ball. It'll be 2 shots and the ball for East Brunswick. And perhaps a shift of momentum here as St. Joe's was on a 5-0 run after trailing for the first time tonight. Gianca Cosiello getting an explanation from the referees on the near side. There you see the first-year head coach of the Falcons pleading his case. But his case will fall on deaf ears. Kayshawn Schulters firing up the Falcon flock to our right. Bayuk will get 2. Jackson Bayuk on the line, chosen by Mark Mataseski for a reason. One of the more experienced returning players for East Brunswick this season. And he cuts the lead to 1 for Joe's. And East Brunswick will get the ball back as was a result of the technical foul. Gomez was in some deep trouble on that last possession. Couldn't break that press for St. Joe's. Bayuk the 3. Just out. Schulters grabs the board. Slowinski is open. The long rebound, but stripped was Campbell. It falls out of bounds, but it goes off of Gomez last. A key offensive rebound for St. Joe's. Every possession is going to matter ever so much. 5:02 left in the 3rd quarter. Schulters will slow the pace down. Joe's lining up 4 across the baseline. Slowinski will take it himself. Will look down low for Ford. But the pass in too much traffic taken by Kennedy of East Brunswick. Black the other way. Black will pull up and 1! How about the sophomore, Justin Black? And the Bear Den fired up as you would expect in their holiday attire. But it would be the ultimate Christmas present if East Brunswick were to snap a 7-year losing streak to their most hated rivals, the St. Joseph Falcons. 1 free throw coming here for Black as the Bears retake the lead by 1. The first 2 points of the game for Black, and now the first 3. A 2-point lead. The Bears on top of St. Joe's. Schulters the other way. Maurice Johnson's back in, replacing Andrew Olden. Ford. In the corner, Johnson is fouled. So that's the first team foul on East Brunswick. Also in for Joes is Carlson Goodwill. Wearing number 12, he has the ball now. Goodwill will stop the free throw line. Looked like he walked, and indeed he did. So the Falcons turn it right back over. Carlson Goodwill, just a junior, appeared in 5 games last season on varsity. Baseball pass, Kennedy finishes. 4-point lead for the Bears. My goodness, midway through the third, 4 minutes remaining. And East Brunswick, against all the odds, flying high, a foul down low off the ball will go against Gomez of East Brunswick, jockeying for position with Tyree Ford, who is still yet to score. Second foul on the team, second foul against Gomez. Gomez, who had a nice first half with 5. Campbell lofts it for Johnson. He's fouled by Kennedy. That's number 3 on Kennedy. And Kennedy cannot believe it, has arms up in the air. So Kennedy with 3 fouls will exit the game. And that is big. Brendan Devlin, number 23, in white. Devlin will have to guard a much bigger Maurice Johnson down low. We'll see if the Falcons can exploit that mismatch. Instead, it's Goodwill on the perimeter. Defense Shanna rises all the way down the lane. Campbell will go to the line for 2. That's the first foul going up against Brendan Devlin. Campbell misses the first free throw short. Amari Campbell, just a sophomore, starting his first varsity game. He goes 1 of 2. Lead down to 3 for East Brunswick. Number 2, St. Joe's, perhaps in trouble. Gomez is trapped again. And a travel is called. East Brunswick cannot find the answer just yet to the 1-2-2 trap of St. Joe's in the full court. Campbell now leads the scoring for St. Joe's with 8. Gomez trapped back-to-back times in similar fashion. The long 2, Goodwill can't connect. Campbell the offensive board, Schulters the 3, that's good! Sean Schulters from downtown, his first 3 of the game. We're back square at 30 with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Nice pass down low, Devlin, and 1! Brendan Devlin runs the floor and gets rewarded. In for Kennedy, who has 3 fouls. The foul will go against Tyree Ford, his second. Brendan Devlin, a junior, perhaps an unlikely contributor. Cannot hit the free throw, but the Bears retake the lead by 2. And St. Joe's throws it away. 2:54 left in the third quarter. And could you imagine the tension that we're about to see in the fourth quarter if this game remains as tight as it is? The smart play on the press by Bayuk, darting to the middle, eludes 1, Bayuk all the way! Back to 4 for the Bears. Johnson looking down low. Johnson will take it himself, was tied up by Devlin, it's taken away. Jordan Williams is back in for East Brunswick. He has the lane, pump fakes. And Sean Schulters swats it out of bounds. Hard to operate down low with these athletes on St. Joe's. 2:23 left in the third. Andrew Olden will re-enter this game. Tyree Ford will come out still with no points. The Bears inbounding underneath. From the corner. McCann is in. McCann goes behind the back. McCann is bumped. Janka Coziello does not like it. Ethan Simmons, who's back in for Joe's, picks up the foul. It's his first with 2:14 left in the third. What a result this would be. An earth-shattering one. Could have been a 5-second call, but instead, Kayshawn Schulters tips it out of bounds. Probably should have been a 5-second call. Adam Slowinski is back in for Joe's, replacing Amari Campbell, the promising sophomore who has played well here tonight. Campbell leading the charge with 8. The Bears forced to inbound from the dead corner. The Falcon flock counting down the 5 seconds on their own. From the corner, it's a 3. Schulters fights for it. The battle is won by Williams. Williams lofts it up, and he threw it away. So East Brunswick perhaps not taking advantage of a second chance opportunity. Nathaniel Levitt is in for East Brunswick. And the freshman Jalen Pichardo is out. Simmons up the floor. Under 2 minutes left in the third. Slowinski looks for Olden and finds him. Olden doubled. Maurice Johnson. Interesting to see 2 6'4" guys on the floor at the same time for Joe's. Both forwards. It's on the ground. Fight for it. Jump ball called. Olden down low with Jordan Williams. The arrow favors EB. They will slow it down, will the Bears. 1:37 left in the third. McCann doubles back around. Bayuk is open for 3. Olden is fouled on the rebound. Levitt can't believe it. That's his third. Team foul number 6 on East Brunswick. Rather, it's team foul number 5 on East Brunswick to 4 for St. Joe's. Under 90 seconds left in the third. We've been stuck at 34 to 30 for some time. Simmons. Slowinski will look for Olden, fronted nicely by Devlin. And we will have a foul down low as the pass appeared to go over the head of Olden. So East Brunswick picks up its 6th team foul. That's number 2 on Brendan Devlin, who has had to fill time for Devin Kennedy out with the 2 fouls. Olden looking down low for Johnson, not the best of passes. Still loose, Olden dives for it. Devlin comes up for it with it, and a foul will go against Joe's. East Brunswick winning those 50-50 balls. Second foul on Maurice Johnson. Miles Y will check back in for Andrew Olden. McCann with 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Bayuk brings it out, back to McCann. Looking for a cutter, can't find one. 45 seconds left in the third. McCann looking back door, could not find Bayuk. Heavy pressure from the St. Joseph defense. Tyree Ford is back in. He replaces Kayshawn Schulters. Tyree Ford, known for taking over late in games. He did so last season in the GMC championship game. Simmons, guarded by McCann, 30 seconds left in the third. Slowinski Y down low, it's tipped by Levitt, and Levitt has picked up his fourth, and that's 1-1 for Miles Y. Miles Y with 7 points. He led the Falcons in scoring in the first half, but only checked in just a moment ago. And Levitt will leave with the 4 fouls. Logan Witkowski back in for the Bears. Y, it's 1-1. What a big momentum shift it would be, perhaps, if St. Joe's were to end this third quarter going on a run. And Y sinks a pair. 20 seconds left in the third quarter and counting. Dylan McCann, the senior, walks it up the floor. 9 now for Miles Y. McCann doubles around. Jackson Bayuk, 8 seconds, 7 seconds left, 6. Bayuk will make his move. Bayuk finds the corner, denied. Out of bounds with 1.7. Maurice Johnson getting his hand up. Catch and shoot situation for East Brunswick. McCann looking, still looking. Can't get it in. Crazy three is short from Brendan Devlin. But boy, oh boy, do we have a ball game going into the fourth. East Brunswick leading the number 2 ranked team in Middlesex County, St. Joseph, 34-32 at the end of 3. Thank you for joining us on the GMC Hoops Game of the Week, courtesy of RD Plex Films. Stay tuned to the social media accounts at GMC Hoops on Twitter and in my Twitter account at Real Cargan for the upcoming schedule and upcoming games that will be broadcast right here on YouTube as you see the impressive pyramid on display from the East Brunswick cheerleaders.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winning 50-50 ticket is 2549231. Again, 2549231.
So the fourth quarter is set to commence. St. Joe's with its backs up against the wall. They had their backs against the wall quite a few times in the early going last season before battling back and winning the GMC Tournament Championship. And an offensive foul will go against Joe's coming out right out of the fourth quarter. Miles Y picks up his third. In the corner, Bayuk is open. It's a 3. And it's long. Simmons the other way. Ford whips it. Slowinski for 3. In and out. The Bears the other way. Bayuk. McCann, 40 seconds now into this fourth quarter. McCann, hesitation dribble, lost the ball. He gets it back, and a foul will go against Joe's. Team foul number 7 in the second half. That's 1-1 for the Bears. So 2 huge free throws here.
We have Jesus! We have Jesus!
It appears to be McCann on the line. Dylan McCann for St. Joe's. He has yet to factor, excuse me, it's not McCann on the line for East Brunswick. It is instead Brendan Devlin. The foul came off the ball. The foul went on Ethan Simmons, his second, and Devlin sinks the front end. The lead up to 3, 45 seconds into the fourth quarter, and Devlin sinks a pair. 4-point lead for the Bears. Slowinski thought about the 3 instead. It's Maurice Johnson working on Devlin, and he finishes with the right hand. That's a spot that perhaps St. Joe's, in the absence of Devin Kennedy on the floor for East Brunswick, it's a spot where you would think that St. Joe's could possibly go to more often here in this fourth quarter. The size advantage significant. Johnson against Brendan Devlin, and an offensive foul going the other way on EB. Illegal screen will go against Logan Witkowski. That's his first, the team's 8th. So Joe's trying to turn it on here in the fourth quarter when they need it the most. Can tie it up here in this possession or take the lead. Slowinski instead will take the baseline. Dish it down low. Ford can't corral. The steal by Williams. And McCann takes it the other way. McCann, was it tipped? No, it was not. Williams was cutting. McCann expected him to stay in the corner. So another opportunity gone by for East Brunswick. Simmons, who's played big minutes tonight. Schulters can't find Johnson down low. He's fronted by Devlin. Across the court. Slowinski for 3. That's short. Devlin the board. Good position by Brendan Devlin on the much bigger Johnson. Baseball pass. Witkowski the finish. Back up to 4. The lead goes. Under 6 left in the fourth. Is this the moment? Ford feigns the 3. Ford barrels in. Offensive foul. Tyree Ford has been unable to get it going for St. Joe's. 5:46 left in the fourth. A 7-year losing streak on the line against their rivals. East Brunswick perhaps on the verge. Ford picks up his 3rd foul. He will exit this game. My goodness. In for Joe's is Simmons, Slowinski, Schulters, Miles Y, who's back in, and Maurice Johnson. In for EB, the freshman, Jalen Pichardo, Jackson Bayuk, who's with it now, Jordan Williams, Ricardo Gomez, and Devin Kennedy, who's back in with the 3 fouls. Gomez will put up the long 2. Kennedy fighting for it down low. It falls for Simmons. Simmons all the way with the left. Lead is 2. Bayuk barrels in, and he's called for the charge. Under duress, Jackson Bayuk. The press of St. Joe's a bit too much. It's forced several East Brunswick turnovers here tonight. And that's just the latest one. 5:25 remaining in quarter number 4. The tension has truly mounted here at the Bears' den. Schulter's forced to call timeout on the inbounds play. So this will give these teams and these fans perhaps a much needed breather, as this has been a result thus far that not many people could have expected. Even the most ardent of East Brunswick supporters would have been overjoyed by if they were to know that their side would be up by 2 points with 5:25 left in the fourth quarter. After 15 straight losses to St. Joseph, after a sub-500 season last year. In fact, back-to-back sub-500 seasons for East Brunswick. only garnering the 14th seed in the GMC tournament last year, did the Bears. A victory in the JV tournament provided the hope, but St. Joe's coming off of 9 out of 10 GMC tournament championships and returning what was thought to be the best backcourt in the county in Ford and Schulters, MVPs of the last 2 GMC tournaments respectively. But East Brunswick has come close before these past several years, and at no point have they been able to get the job done. Can this year be different? It's a 3 for Schulters. Williams the rebound, and EB can set things up. Gomez, the corner, finds Kennedy. Kennedy, good ball movement by the Bears. The 3 from Bayou can't connect. And it will be a foul the other way. Foul number 10 on East Brunswick. So 2 free throws coming, and that's going to be on Kennedy. That's number 4 on the big man, Devin Kennedy, whose mere presence on the floor gives East Brunswick a big boost and a big advantage to match up with some of these bigs for St. Joe's. Maurice Johnson to the line, 2 shots. He could tie this score with this free throw. 5:04 remaining in the 4th. Logan Witkowski back in this game. Kennedy will sit with the 4 fouls, a huge blow to the Bears. Johnson to tie. He cannot. Bayuk will go the other way. Bayuk. Williams on the wing. The Bears up by 1, under 5 left in the 4th. In the corner, Gomez thought about the 3, thought better of it. Witkowski back out for Bayuk. Could we see a methodical possession here? The Bears instead will fire the 3 with Gomez. East Brunswick has to be careful to not foul in the double bonus are the Falcons. Through the hands of Y and taken by Williams. Bayuk will slow the pace. Bayuk instead, he has it poked away by Schulters. Slowinski the other way, he loses the ball. Back and forth action in the 4th quarter. 4:13 remaining. Slowinski will exit. Amari Campbell will enter, just a sophomore. A big missed opportunity. Joe's several opportunities to take the lead in this game, retake the lead in this game. The sophomore Justin Black back in, number 0 in white, who's been in foul trouble in this game. Joe's shows the 1-2-2 press. Black finds Williams. Into the corner it goes, the baseline, Gomez. Witkowski the lay-in. Bears up by 3, under 4 to play. Simmons is fouled. 2 shots gonna come to Ethan Simmons. 4 points for Simmons. Simmons, the junior, misses the first. He has another with 3:47 left in the 4th. Simmons misses both. Maurice Johnson comes up with it, and he's fouled. So Johnson will have 2 free throws. He hit 1 of 2 a moment ago. And the big 6'4" junior with critical free throws for his side. Johnson. Just what the doctor ordered for St. Joe's. Back down, the lead goes to 2. Tyree Ford is back in for Joe's. He has yet to score in this game. The all-county performer, the 2-time all-county performer. And the MVP of the GMC tournament last season. Johnson to make it 1. He can't. Almost fouled was Williams by Ford. Probably should have been a whistle there. Black is stripped by Schulters. Schulters barrels in. It's a blocking foul. A whirling dervish here at the Bear Den. What probably could have been a foul on Ford, not called. And then Black dribbles it off the leg of Schulters. And now Schulters has 2 shots. And Jordan Williams has 4 fouls. Schulters can tie with 2 makes. He can cut the tension with a knife. The 5 out for East Brunswick is Bayuk, Gomez, Witkowski, Williams, and Pichardo. As Schulters misses. Offensive rebound. Why? Joe's has the lead. 3.5 left in the 4th. What a ball game. And Mark Mataseski calls time. A 30-second timeout. My goodness, Miles Y now with 11 points. And what a boost for St. Joe's. Back up by 1, 41-40. 3:23 remaining in the 4th quarter. This game, this fixture never fails to disappoint, especially on opening night when the tensions are so high and the atmosphere is so electric. Miles Y, the likes of Y, the likes of Amari Campbell, players who, by comparison to Schulters and Ford, would have to be considered role players. But they have stepped up, and they have taken St. Joe's to this lead. Kayshawn Schulters only with 5, Tyree Ford with none. St. Joe's at the line, 11 of 24 as well. That is a huge factor. Bayuk on the wing. Bayuk crosses over. Gomez. Gomez in the corner. Gomez almost lost the ball. Pichardo for Bayuk. Bayuk drives the lane. Losing the ball. Williams lost it. Taken by Ford. Ford, the Euro. Johnson straight on. Big 3 for Campbell. Comes up just short. Kennedy back in for East Brunswick. He has 4 fouls and he is hounded in the backcourt. Ford comes away with it at midcourt. Can he score for the first time? No, he cannot. Kennedy outlets to Gomez. 2:24 left in the 4th. Bayuk takes the baseline. He's got the lane. He misses. Still fought for, still loose. Schulters comes away. Schulters all the way. Surely that was all ball from Gomez. My goodness. The foul will go against Gomez. Right in front of us. Those watching on YouTube could perhaps rewind it and see whether it was all ball. It looked certainly from our vantage point that it was. So Kayshawn Schulters with 2:04 left in the 4th will go to the line for 2. Schulters cannot connect. St. Joseph 11 of 25 from the line. That is incredible. Schulters. A massive free throw this is. 2:04 left in the fourth. He misses both. 11 for 26 are the Falcons. Under 2, Schulters the strip. Schulters all the way. Playmakers keep finding a way to make plays, and East Brunswick calls time with 1:47 left in the fourth. The drama has come to a head here at the Bears' Den. EB up by as much as 4 in this fourth quarter. And the biggest possession of the game, without a doubt, for the home side, the East Brunswick Bears, who again have come up so close in this matchup throughout the years. Last season opening night, Nip and Tuck affair, won by Joe's 62-54. Previous year right here at the Bears' Den, 59-52, Joe's on top. 2017 at the Maglio Gymnasium on opening night, 49-43. That was the first game ever broadcast on the GMC Hoops Game of the Week. This now in year number 4. We thank you so much for joining us throughout the years and here tonight. If you have tuned in late, seeing on the likes of Twitter the closeness of this matchup, we thank you for joining us. James Corrigan on hand. Thank you to the head of RD Plex Films, Ryan DePaul. And be sure to join us throughout the year and stay tuned on social media at GMC Hoops on Twitter and at Real Corrigan. Biggest possession of the game, without a doubt, for East Brunswick. 1:47 left in the fourth. Trouble with the inbounds, but it goes to Bayuk. Guarded by Schulters. It's Gomez in the corner. Kennedy the post touch. Kennedy, nice dish. Pichardo is denied by Johnson. And it'll go out of bounds. Maybe a mistake by Williams to let it go out of bounds in the dead corner. The toughest place on the floor to inbound the basketball. Perhaps East Brunswick would have preferred to keep it alive in that situation, but they do get it in. Gomez drives the lane. He scores. Down to 1:25 left in the fourth. Trapping time and perhaps fouling time for the East Brunswick Bears. They have to get up here. Campbell does pick up his dribble. Schulters, 1:10 now left in the fourth. They can dribble it out all day long. Of course, no shot clock in the Garden State. Campbell and St. Joe's will call timeout. Their first-year head coach, Jan Caconziello. A baptism by fire for him, or for anyone else whose first game has to come in this imposing atmosphere in the Bears' Den. With the Falcon flock to our right and the Bear Den student section on the far side, this has been an electric affair from start to finish, and we are not done just yet. With 1 minute, 1 second left in the fourth quarter, St. Joe's will inbound in the front court. And they will have to be wary of the pressure defense that is sure to come from East Brunswick. The Bears will try and force a turnover, or they will foul, and fouling may not be the worst of ideas, considering that, amazingly, St. Joe's 11 of 26 from the line. East Brunswick also with 11 made free throws, but that's out of 16. Who will step up for the St. Joseph Falcons? Miles Weiss certainly has here tonight with 11 points to lead all scorers in the game. And Y is out there for St. Joe's along with Schulters, Campbell, Maurice Johnson, and Tyree Ford. For East Brunswick, it's Kennedy, the big man, Pichardo, Gomez, Williams, and Bayuk. Schulters inbounds on the near side. Campbell back for Schulters, who just missed a pair of free throws a moment ago. Schulters will take it himself. Schulters will put it up and one! Oh, Dr. Kayshawn Schulters. As cool as you like. This man has been there before. He's been a champion. He's been an MVP of the GMC tournament. And in the biggest of situations, Kayshawn Schulters makes the perfect play, 53 points, 7 left in the fourth. The and one free throw. It's true. The lead is 4. 48 seconds left in the fourth. Can the Bears recover? Gomez thought about the three. Kennedy in the post. Kennedy will take it himself. He's fouled going up. 2 massive free throws for the massive man, Devin Kennedy. Andrew Olden is about to re-enter for Joe's. Kennedy with 7 tonight. He is 3 of 6 from the line. Kennedy now 3 of 7, and that is a huge miss. Ford back in. And Ford only came out on the free throw for St. Joe's. He's right back in for Miles Y. Miles Y with 4 fouls. Kennedy misses both. Johnson strip taken by Gomez. What a play by the Bears. Williams turns it over. Schulters the other way. Schulters the Euro. Oh, how do you like that from Kayshawn Schulters? The Falcon flock in a frenzy. 20 seconds left. Stripped almost was Gomez, and Gomez is fouled in the end by Campbell. Janka Coziello fired up on the Joe's sideline. They can smell it now, the 16th consecutive victory over East Brunswick. Perhaps none more hard fought than that, than this one here tonight. The back's against the wall for Joe's, but as they've done time and time again the last 3 years, picking themselves right off the deck. Gomez connects to make it a 5-point affair. But Kayshawn Schulters now with 13 points. How big has he been in the fourth quarter? Gomez hits both the lead down to 4. And East Brunswick will call time. The Bears now need a miracle. They need at least 1 turnover and perhaps some missed free throws along the way for the St. Joseph Falcons, the number 2 ranked side in Middlesex County in the preseason. Again, winners of 9 of the last 10 GMC tournament titles. The legend Dave Turco giving way to Mike Thompson. Now Janka Conziello will try and win his head coaching debut with the Falcons. 17.1 left. Again, the free throw issues for Joe's. 12 of 27 as a team. So the Falcons are heading out their 5. Adam Slowinski is back in, along with Kayshawn Schulters, Ethan Simmons, Maurice Johnson, and Tyree Ford. And for East Brunswick, they need to foul in a hurry or force a turnover of some sort. Slowinski inbounds on the baseline. The lob over the head of Schulters, and they have the turnover. 16.9 left in the fourth. So Pichardo will inbound. It's Bayuk, Kennedy, Williams, and Gomez on the floor. If it goes to Bayuk, he has to hurry. 14 left in the fourth. Gomez, it's a three. Oh, it's good! Time continues to wind. The clock is stopped. It appears as if East Brunswick has called timeout. They have 10.2 left. What a shot by Ricardo Gomez! This is the game that continues to deliver year after year. No wonder we've opened with this game all 4 years of the GMC Hoops Game of the Week. The Bear Den fired up. As well they should. It is a 1-point game with 10.2 left in the fourth. 12 now for Gomez. His second three-point make of the game. Both teams in the double bonus. So 2 shots regardless of the foul. Simmons, Slawinski, Johnson, Schulters, and Ford in for St. Joe's in their black uniforms. Slawinski to inbound for Joe's. He turned it over a moment ago. This time he finds Schulters. Surely a foul comes here, and it is 7.1. Not sure if Bayuk even was trying to foul. Bayuk picks up his fourth. 2 shots for Kayshawn Schulters. 7.1 left in the fourth. His 3 of 7 from the line. 4 of 7 from the line, rather, is Kayshawn Schulters. These are huge. 1 down. Kennedy back in for East Brunswick. It's Kennedy, Gomez, Pichardo, Williams, and Bayuk on the floor for the Bears. The lead is 2. Schulters knocks it down. It's a 3-point game. Bayuk the head of steam. Timeout called. 3.6 left. And perhaps too much time went off the clock there for East Brunswick. They have to really hustle on this next possession. Nearly a catch-and-shoot situation. 3.6 left. You would almost perhaps prefer the 7 seconds full court than the 3.5 at the front court.
Just a reminder, at the conclusion of the game, please do not go on the playing surface. Please stay in the bleachers. Thank you.
A reminder to the fans to stay off the floor after the game is merely a formality. These 2 intense fan bases will be jetted off to their separate leaving areas after this one. But what an atmosphere they have provided. East Brunswick needing a 3-point make with 3.6 remaining in quarter number 4. Kennedy, Gomez, Pichardo, Bayuk, and Williams are in. Williams to inbound. Still looking. Bayuk lost the ball. Bayuk throws it to no one. And time expires and Joe's has won. The St. Joseph Falcons survive once again at the Bears Den. 50-47. St. Joe's wins its 16th consecutive game against the East Brunswick Bears. But perhaps none more dramatic than that. St. Joe's, of course, moves to 1-0. East Brunswick 0-1. But a long season still ahead for both teams. East Brunswick should be very proud of their effort here tonight, but again, they come so close to defeating their bitter, hated rivals, the St. Joseph Falcons, and once again, The color is green and not the East Brunswick green, but St. Joseph green. So St. Joe's continues its dominant play against East Brunswick. And the first win in the first career game for Jan Cacaziello. So that will do it for us here tonight. But first we'll look at some of the post-game statistics.
Easy, guys. Easy.
15 points for Kayshawn. As we apologize for perhaps some of the profanity that you may be hearing. 15 points leads all scorers for Kayshawn Schulters, who was fabulous, absolutely fabulous in the fourth quarter, carried his side to victory. 11 points, Miles Y, a big step forward for him. Those two keeping the pace for St. Joe's. And for East Brunswick, Ricardo Gomez, 12 points, leads the way for them. But the bitter taste of defeat for East Brunswick, they will try and bounce back on Monday against Woodbridge, and then they will compete in the Brunswick Classic against New Brunswick and North Brunswick, two teams that have looked very good in the early going. So East Brunswick still a lot to play for. They cannot get too down on themselves. But that will do it for us. Thank you to our sponsors, Lots of Balls and the Express Athletic Center. Thank you to RD Plex Films and its head honcho, Ryan DePaul, who's been such a great help to us. And thank you to head of GMC Hoops, Greg Machos. Be sure to follow GMC Hoops on Twitter at GMC Hoops and on Instagram and Facebook as well. Visit gmchoops.com for all the information and history of the Greater Middlesex Conference. And you can follow me as well on Twitter at Real Cargan. Follow GMC Hoops on social media for the latest on the next game of the GMC Hoops Game of the Week. We will give it to you very soon. But for now, St. Joseph victorious over East Brunswick by 3. Thank you for tuning in. This is James Cargan signing off from East Brunswick.